Wow, Tom, that was an incredible video.
Amazing.
Wow, just amazing. I mean, you can just feel the heart of it. And as promised, we are here live with an opportunity to hear directly from two of our Twin Cities Rise graduates. Bridget, Adero, welcome. We are so just blessed to have you, grateful to be in your presence, and grateful to get an opportunity to hear directly from the two of you. What you shared on the video was powerful, but I do want to ask again, I know we got to hear some of that in what you shared, but what is it that brought you to Twin Cities Rise?
Will we take your
Bridget,
first?
why don't we start with you?
I could take the first one. What brought me to Twin City Rise, I was a recent empty nester, just relocated from California, trying to find myself as a single parent, or excuse me, as a single person, because I'm an empty nester. And I was collecting unemployment and I needed structure. I needed to get organized so that I can handle some affairs in my life so that I can move to the next chapter. So coming to Twin City Rise was a great opportunity to help me do that.
Thank you for sharing that. What about for you, Daryl? What brought you to Twin Cities Rise?
I was recently divorced and I was trying to find my way back or navigate myself back to better job opportunities because I was feeling like a failure. I felt like I had failed at one of the more important things in life, and that's trying to be married and stay married, which was tough going through that process. So, and at failed attempts of drinking and substance abuse, I made some bad choices and I got my license to practice compromised. And so that left me in a unfortunate situation, and Twin City Rise was a beacon of light that someone referred me to that I have been able to take advantage of.
Wow, wow, that is so transparent and honest of you to share with us today. You mentioned a lot of what life was like before Twin Cities Rise. What was that like for you, Miss Bridget? What was life like before Twin Cities Rise?
Before Twin Cities Rise, I was just figuring it out, living day by day. After my daughter moved out into her own place, I was almost like a kid in a candy store with, oh, I can party, oh, I can do this, oh, I can do that. But truly, I was missing purpose in my life because being a single person without having someone to provide and care for, I didn't really know what to do with myself. And felt, as he said, I ran into some troubles. Driving violations, DWI, things of that nature. And so it was time for me to figure out who I was going to be in the next chapter of my life.
Wow. Wow. So it sounds like a journey that you knew that you needed to go on?
It was a definite journey I needed to go on. I didn't know what it was going to do for me, but I knew getting up each day, going to a structural place that was going to help me find balance in my life, be it from the empowerment courses, from redeveloping my resume, from taking computer courses just to enhance what I already had. Being on a schedule and organized allows me not to have idle time. So idle time, we all know, can fall into some great troubles.
Wow, yes, yes, that is very true. Thank you for that, Bridget. Anything else about your life prior to Twin Cities Rise that you would want to share with us?
Oh yeah, that's what led me to Twin City Rise. I was a practicing pharmacist, and because of some of my bad choices and trying to not be present through, like I said before, failed attempts at doing things that I thought would be able to address my feelings and emotions that were unsuccessful. And I'm not proud of. And I had been to college, so I thought I was smart, but life kind of knocks you down. And when my license got compromised to practice, I really didn't know what to do. I didn't know a good next step because what I had been doing was so much different than what I was trying to apply for. I still was trying to sustain myself. I have obligations and responsibilities, and it was tough. And someone suggested Twin City Rise. I went there, and here we are today.
Yes, here we are today. I love that. Here we are. So you transitioned and took that step of faith, if you will, for both of you, right, to engage in our training at Twin Cities Rise. So what I'd love to hear from the both of you is How have the resources from Twin Cities Rise helped some of the barriers that you had coming into the experience with us?
I'll go first. this
Yeah,
time.
okay.
But yeah, so ladies first, but yeah. But I believe that the personal empowerment class helped me to realize I was operating from a core hurt standpoint. And I was totally unaware of those, just even core hurts exist. But to sit in the class with the coaches,
Right.
Be informed and become more aware that I am lovable, I am powerful, I am important, and I'm empowered. And I'm so grateful for that today. And I'm so thankful for Twin Cities Rise. I mean, everybody over there does an exceptional job. And like we were talking before,
Yeah.
I was saying that I feel it in every extension of the organization. And that's a reflection of leadership. So grateful to you, Tom.
Thank you, Daryl.
And for all of the partners that work with Twin City Rise and contribute to what y'all do over there. I mean, it's just been a phenomenal experience, and I'm so grateful.
Wow. Daryl, thank you. And we can just feel that. It
Yeah,
just makes my
absolutely.
heart so happy to hear how powerfully you connected with some of these resources and finding out your true core value. And what about for you, Bridget, when you think about life before and some of the barriers that you mentioned, how have the resources from Twin Cities Rise supported and helped you through some of that?
Definitely going to piggyback on Daryl with the personal empowerment. Finding out about your core hurts, your belief systems, and your life experiences and how they affect the choices you make and how you respond to others. So for me, learning that I'm empowered enough to pick and choose who's going to be where in my life. I mean, the theater portion that they gave us, I get to pick and choose who's going to be front and center, who's going to be at the back door. So no more negative Nancy, no more worrying mom, and no more friends who want to do things that aren't in my best interest. I can set the encourager right there in front. I can set the hope right there in the middle. I can set someone else in the back who's going to say, Bridget, I don't see you every day, but when I do, you're working towards positive. And so things like that really help me decide where I want to be and how I want to respond to people, and that allows me to build and maintain healthy relationships in my personal life and in the workforce. So those were some of the things that really just helped me stand tall and take charge in the next steps of my life.
Miss Bridget, you are standing tall, and we can see you are taking charge.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
Can I add one
You
thing?
may, absolutely.
So the micro grant, I was told about a micro grant.
Yes.
And the micro grant was a resource that I was able to tap into through my job search coach, who is great, by the way. I'm so grateful for a coach, an ever-present, steadfast resource for me to tap back into. That's the first line of communication
Yes.
to me with Twin City Rise. And the micro grant helped me apply for my pharmacy license here in Minnesota. I'm doing it by reciprocity from Texas. And I paid for the exam, I paid for all the applications, and I paid for my license renewal once it got unsuspended since I was a participant at Twin Cities Rise. So I have it back current, and now I'm trying to reciprocate it here, and the micro grant was the resource for me to make that possible.
So powerful for our donors and our supporters to hear your story. So thanks for being vulnerable and being willing to share. And I think about, I've been listening to the journey of your lives, and could you share with us, how's your life changed? The person you were before you got to Twin Cities Rise and who you are now. You want to talk a little bit about that?
For me to talk about the changes, I'm going to have to touch base on some more of those resources. Dress for Success was a major impact on redefining my look, which gave me confidence in my interviews. It allowed me to also redo my wardrobe at a budget price. I mean, from the accessories I have on to the shirt I'm wearing, I was able to do that. And in doing so, I was saving money, but yet I also was building this character for my new me. So when I walked in the Northside Achievement Zone, ready for an interview, I was ready to work from that day forth.
Wow.
Using the bridging resource I was able to get furniture as I had just relocated from California. That was a major for me. I still have that furniture today. Just different things like that, gas cards to help me out. You know, so those things allowed me to rebuild my credit. I've been at my job 3 years. I just bought a house, and I'm
Wow.
hoping to maybe be a manager at my current job. So when you ask me about how Twin City Rise transformed my life, those are the success stories that I have to share now and be an example for everyone around me.
Wow. Well,
Wow.
thank you. I mean,
Wow.
what a beautiful story and what a change in your life. Congratulations on being a homeowner.
Thank you.
That's just amazing. Thank you for sharing that. And Daryl, is there anything you'd like to add? Your life prior to Twin Cities Rise and your life now today?
I think it would be my approach from an emotional intelligence and awareness perspective. When you navigating the bumps in the road and when adversity comes your way, and being able to be resilient or be present within yourself and knowing how to deal with relationships, especially at work. If a boss or a supervisor, you know, they don't mean to get under your skin there, but you have to be reminded of your core values and not let your core hurts be the thing that's driving you. So being able to incorporate personal empowerment into not only my showing up at work and how I deal with relationships today, setting healthy boundaries, reminding myself that I am in charge of my next best move, you know, and so those type of things, being able to incorporate what Twin City Rise has taught me, not only helps me be a better employer, it helps me be a better person in all aspects of my life.
Yeah,
And
you
I'm
know,
grateful for that.
that's wonderful. You know, we talk a lot about personal empowerment.
We do.
And that's one of the things that's so unique about Twin Cities Rise, right, is that there's a lot of job training entities out there, organizations, who do wonderful work. But what separates us, I really believe, is the personal empowerment curriculum that everyone goes through, including the employees, by the way. We
Yes,
all go through it as well.
absolutely.
And I think you hit on something really so vital about Twin Cities Rise and our program, and that is we ask people to commit to a journey of self-discovery, right? And we know that self-discovery is sometimes going to lead to something very painful. And when you reference core hurts, just for our audience out there, Nicole, who's an empowerment instructor, by the way, that trigger, if you will, of trauma for many of us can be a spiral backwards. But one of the things we really coach is if you can get past that core hurt, understand it, embrace it, it never goes away, but you can use that power, right, in your own life. Social emotional regulation, and you just gave just a beautiful testimony to the power of personal empowerment. Is there anything you'd like to share about personal empowerment, Bridget?
Personal empowerment gives the opportunity to separate emotions from fact. My favorite one of sharing is the 86,400 seconds.
Yes.
I used to give a lot
The
away.
86,400 seconds?
In a day.
Yeah.
I used to give them away. I'd be driving on my way to class at Twin City Rise, and someone cuts me off, and it's like, wait, what are you doing? And it's like, wait a minute. He has no clue what's going on with me. I have no clue what's going on with him. I just gave up about 3 minutes where I could have saved myself that anxiety,
Right.
Yeah.
that anguish. And so that's really about learning how to respond to others and learning that everything isn't for you to respond to. It's not about you. They have their own things going on. We all have trauma. We all have emotional core hurts and belief systems. But when we separate that from ourselves, from our emotions, and put in fact, we can then build and maintain healthy relationships with other people. And that's what really helped me.
Wow. I think, you know, it's so important right now that we're having this conversation around trauma because obviously our community is going through so much right now.
Yes.
With the murder of George Floyd and other unrest and this pandemic we're living in. And I know personally, Nicole, you know, my experience at Twin Cities Rise, personal empowerment has really helped me sort of process where we're at in time. So I just think it's so important that that you're willing to be here today and share this story and with our viewers out there and for them to hear this.
And I'd like to add that
Yes.
Twin City Rise is an ongoing journey. Like one of the things I appreciate the most about it is that it's not like it's going away. It didn't stop with me. They're there for my pathway to success through my career. So even if I run into a bump in the road, personal empowerment has ongoing maintenance, so I can tap back into that. And Mr. Rambo over there emails me to keep in contact with me, stays in touch with me.
Jason Rambo.
And I feel so
Yes,
much confidence in approaching life, knowing that Twin Cities Rise is always there. Like for anything, for even some encouragement. My job search coach just reminded me of something that is taught in the personal empowerment class because they've taken it. So they're not only suggesting that I do it, they actually are living it themselves. And I feel so like confident and supported all the time, you know?
I'd feel a disservice if I didn't share this. When he talks about long-term, that it's not you graduate from your session and you get your next best job. I mean, I thought I had that when I finished the session. I was at a job for 4 months. I came back to my coach and we used the exit strategy. And it worked beautifully. Wow. I was able to be in a position to say, you know what, I don't have to put a 2-week notice in. I could say yesterday was my last day. But empowerment gave me that. Before, I would have never done such a thing. But when I got to the next career job, you know, and like I said, I'm waiting on a management position, but I went back to my coach and said, hey, let's look at this. Let's talk about this and prepare me for that next interview. So Twin City Rise is an ongoing success story.
Yes.
So it's not about graduating, it's what happens afterwards. It's, you know, like we're sitting here right now representing, sharing our stories for Twin City Rise so that people can see the results, that it's happening and it's out here and they live in your everyday lives.
Yes.
You know, I'm so glad you shared that, Bridget and Daryl, because there's really several different audiences out there tonight tuning into this interview, and some of them are participants in our program right now. And I was at a celebration recently when they graduated, and they said, "Oh yeah, we're coming to the gala," and so they're gonna be watching this and looking at you two and saying, "That could be me. I could own my own home."
You become that. They become the beacon of hope.
Right.
You become the beacon of hope to the others that are yet coming through that process. And you know, I bet speak for both of us. Like hearing you refer to the long-term journey with us really touches on a value that we have as an organization. When we say we are your extended family, we mean it. And so to hear you then say, wow, we feel your presence, we feel your support, it really just drives it home, doesn't it, Tom?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's so heartwarming.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the other audience out there tonight too, and we have many longtime supporters of our program, generous donors who help us raise all the money so we can provide this service for free. To people like yourselves and others. And is there anything you'd want to share with the donors and people who give to Twin Cities Rise, what that means to you? Or?
What I would say to the donors is, one, thank you. Thank you for your support and your encouragement and seeing that Twin Cities Rise has results. When a person chooses to redefine and redevelop themselves, it doesn't only affect them, it affects their family, it affects their friends, it affects the workplace. And when we get out there into the workplace, it becomes almost a pay it forward. Everyone around you wants to do better. And so I would say to the funders and the donors, thank you. I am living proof and results that life can change and we can move on and we can pay it forward and keep doing it and have a better community.
Those ripples.
Just those ripple effects.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, what I would say is people invest based on confidence. And to the supporters and donors out there, you can be confident in the fact that your money it's in good hands, first place, because one of the reasons that made me feel so inclined and I got excited about Twin Cities Rise or becoming a participant was when I walked through the door, any aspect of the organization, I think I said that in the video, but any aspect of the organization, you feel the values. Like I hadn't even met Mr. Tom or Tom. I hadn't met
call
Tom.
me Tom.
Yes, thank you. I hadn't met Tom before, but I already had an example. I already felt like I had been introduced to him because I can feel all of the values rolling down and all the extensions. Even when you're navigating the website, you feel it that someone cares. You feel it that someone wants to be supportive. When I'm talking, when I make a phone call, even the receptionist, anyone from Twin City Rise has always been engaging, been encouraging. Even I was talking about something that didn't even have to do with work. Rick over there say, hey, why don't we come and sit down with me? And he just, for him just even taking the time to even talk to me about something that didn't even, and I know he probably was reminding me of the personal empowerment at the time, but it just felt so genuine and just felt like, I felt like I know they care at Twin City Rise. So the money is in good hands and it's being put to good use. I mean, so anyone should take a visit over there and you'll see for yourself. Don't
When
take
he
my
says
word
take
for
a
it.
visit,
Absolutely.
one of my favorite parts is just seeing everyone's picture up there. The wall of fame.
The graduates, the
All
wall
the
of fame.
graduates.
Yeah.
I remember seeing people I knew up there.
Yeah.
So that was encouragement. And
Sure.
then finally, when I got up there, it was just like, I'm up there. Yeah, I'm there. And it feels good.
What does it feel like, if I could ask? Because both of you are now, it's like full circle, Tom, doing work where you're now giving back. You're now coaching men in the community that you work in,
Definitely.
that you can have empathy toward.
Yes.
And you, Bridget, are doing very similar work of empowerment at NAS. What is that like for you to be on the other side?
It's amazing to be able to use your life experiences in the work that you do to encourage, support, and help advocate for someone else. It's amazing. I work with women and children stationed at Nellie Stone Johnson. So I have a day filled with high five to kindergarten or to fifth grade. So I work with them one-on-one in social emotional aspects, helping them create healthy habits as students. So when they do become middle school and high school, they're already saying, you know what, John, I need to take care of this homework before I can go out and play. I need to do these chores for my mom before I can play these games. Because healthy habits allows them to create space for themselves to say, I want to graduate. I want to go to college. I want to do these things.
Wow.
And when we instill that in a young person, it only grows with them.
So let me ask you this, and this is for you too, Daryl. Are there skills, because we talked a lot about personal empowerment
Yeah.
here today.
Yeah.
Are there skills that you learned through Twin Cities Rise beyond empowerment that you are now applying to do the work that you're doing today?
I think Twin City Rise, a part of being a better communicator, and communication at a workplace can be in different aspects. It can be in email, it can be in when you're having a sidebar conversation with someone, going to talk to a manager or supervisor, and drawing from my experience and the things that I learned at Twin Cities Rise. I'm able to apply it in those moments with a sense of heightened awareness, or I'm more aware of how I'm feeling, reminding myself to come from a core values place. I'm always referencing personal empowerment in everything I do, and I hate to keep being redundant, but it was such a beautiful experience in that course. But yeah, I think communication with me is a big thing.
Yeah, you know, I just love listening to your stories, and I think about the love and the hope that is Twin Cities Rise, and I use that word very intentionally, love and hope. And I think of the bell ringings, which we've talked about a little bit tonight with the audience, and we have this wonderful tradition, as you know, where when someone's been on a job for a year, they come back and ring the bell, and everybody comes out and listens to their story.
Yes.
And I'm just reminded that, you know, when I hear your stories, I hear the bell ringing.
Bell.
I hear the
Keep
bell
the bell
ringing.
ringing.
Yeah, keep the
Yeah,
bell ringing.
Keep the
so.
bell ringing. What was that like for the two of you to ring the bell?
Ringing the bell for me was just, I made it. Because like I said, I had to go through the exit program and get another job and spend a year in. So it was like, okay, this really worked. I think going through the exit program, because in the course you're like, exit program, like what does that mean? How does that work? How do you talk about leaving a job?
Yeah.
You know, because it's always, the best way to find a job is when you have a job.
Yeah.
So that said a lot.
Yes.
But I didn't understand the exit program. But when I received frustration at that job for 4 months, I stopped. Go back to Twin City Rise, go ask for help, and that guidance itself. And also for me going through the Twin City Rise sessions, what helped me was the group that I was with.
The cohort.
My cohorts,
Yeah.
I had, you know, a college background. I had work experience. And so they were looking at me like, man, she's got this, she's got this. But what it allowed me to do was be a better example for them to say, hey, you can do it too, to help. And when I say to help guide, not say I'm better than you, but to say, hey, no, just go right here on the computer and, oh, see, now you got it. You set up your password and things like that. But that also allowed me now to work with the young people I'm working with. I wasn't always a teacher. I didn't know how to share what I was doing. But working with Twin City Rise and the cohorts there allowed me to say, hey, you know, I can help you get there. And helping you get there helps me and helps us as a whole. So that was one of the other skills I picked up outside of the empowerment.
In that moment when I was doing the bell ringing, I was quite nervous, talking in front of people. Sometimes I get pre-talking jitters, or you know. But I thought it was very empowering to the current participants and empowering to me as well to know that I'm participating in the reflection of what they are aspiring to do, and they know in that moment that everything that's being said, everything that's being done, all of their work coming to class, doing what they need to do, doing what's suggested, being guided by the coaches and the leaders at Twin City Rise, they know that what's being said can manifest in that moment when you're ringing that bell. And it came full circle for me too, because I saw someone come ring the bell while I was there.
Yeah.
And when I'm up there ringing the bell, it just, you know, it was a rewarding experience, and I know that I felt so grateful to be able to be. And Twin City Rise, they just engage you in all type of ways. Like, they constantly involving you, keeping you encouraged. Like, that was even encouraging. When I left, I just felt like light on my feet. I'm like, oh my God. I came back and I rung the bell, and I saw someone doing it when I was at a moment when I was feeling like, you know, I wasn't in the best place. You know, and not to come back and I'm ringing the bell. Like, it was very rewarding.
Incredibly inspiring tonight.
Tom.
Yeah,
My
wow.
heart is full.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm thinking about that ripple effect, and I hear that bell ringing. So thank you.
I hear it.
What a joy to be here with you tonight and for you to share your stories with the audience.
Oh, thanks so much.